Prince William has given a very passionate speech about the impact that we as human beings are having on the world's oceans. Royal Editor Russell Myers is here. This is something that he is hugely passionate about, isn't it? And what a way to use your platform.
For sure, and it's exactly that. I mean, he's got such an incredible profile, of course, not only being a senior member of the royal family, future king, but he has a real profile as well. And when he's speaking about things like this, I think people do listen because he's got his Earthshot Prize Awards. That's now in its 5th year. But he was escaping to sunnier climes yesterday because he was in Monaco making a big speech at the very snappily titled the Blue Economy and Finance Forum. But it was with a real message of having, a real exact decade to save the oceans.
Right.
This is what he's been talking about, that we are in a real period of urgency, that we have to do all we can to save the oceans. And this is what he had to say.
Together, we have signed up to an ambitious global commitment to protect 30% of land and sea by 2030. It is our best chance of reversing the damage done to our planet and restoring its well-being. For the future of our planet, for the future generations, we must listen to the words of Sir David Attenborough. If we save the sea, we save our world.
Exactly. David Attenborough, who knows everything about everything.
Of course, and pretty punchy, of course, because William was speaking about Sir David Attenborough there, and Sir David has recently released a new series called Oceans. And William interviewed him and was speaking to him about him being the inspiration for his Earthshot Prize, and saying that Oceans is the most compelling argument he's ever heard for immediate action. And of course, we're at such a period of history where the damage humans are doing to the oceans and indeed the climate and the planet is really, really important to act. So it is important that he uses his
No, good for him, because we know more about space than we do about our oceans.
Sure, exactly.
We really do. There's so much more to discover, and it's fragile. So we need to listen to David Attenborough at all things. Now, look, what's going on here with Meghan Markle? What's happening
How long
now?
have we got?
I don't know.
This is quite interesting, I think, because, we've seen Meghan sort of move into a different sort of influencer sphere, haven't we? We had With Love Meghan's show on Netflix. She's got a new social media profile, which is going great guns. She's got 3 million followers on her own personal brand, and she's launched this new brand As Ever. However, they had a bit of issues with the trademark, that she was going to call it something else, and it ended up being As Ever. But she's got a new trademark for hospitality services. So could she be the new sort of Airbnb host that you never knew you wanted? But she's moved into this sort of trad wife lifestyle a bit. I mean, it's very on vogue at the moment, and I think that this, they're still trying to find their feet, Harry and Meghan. We've seen them sort of talking about, Harry doing interviews with the BBC, talking about everything from his privacy to his court cases to sort of being ostracised from his family. But what they do have is a brand, and they have very much worked on that. And with that, they're trying to sort of create this lifestyle using the children, which has caused a bit of controversy at the moment. One sense talking about having your private life, and the other going to Disneyland last week and putting pictures up of your children and sort of twerking in the birthing suite as well, which caused quite a bit of a stir. I mean, I don't have necessarily a big problem with stuff like this. It's up to them how they market themselves and use their children.
But not when they've always said they want their privacy.
For sure. Listen.
Really, it's a difficult one. You cannot keep invading your own privacy, and then once you put the drawbridge down, you cannot then
You cannot.
That's your decision. That's absolutely fine. They can do whatever they want to do. That's fine. But then you cannot then say, leave me alone.
For sure.
If you're doing that, that's the thing. Now, look, King Charles, obviously tripping the colour is imminent.
Yes, on Saturday.
Yeah, but there's a change for him.
Well, there is a change, and not unexpected, I think, because King Charles is 76 years old now. He's still undergoing his cancer treatment. As you mentioned, trooping the colours, the big birthday celebrations, the official birthday of the monarch. But he will not be riding on horseback. He sort of revisited riding on horseback in 2023. Last year didn't because of his cancer treatment, and he's not going to be doing it this year. But of course, we will see Princess Anne in her role as gold stick.
If the heavens open and there's a hurricane and a tsunami, she will be there on her horse, and all is well with the world.
She will be. But it's, it's still going to be all the pomp, the pageantry that you can expect. And And having seen Charles recently and been away with him a couple of times, he looks in fine form.
Good.
I can
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it.
Onwards
He's
and
doing
upwards
well.
for him,
Yeah.
but not on a horse.
No, not on a horse. And you have to, you know, you've got to be careful about these things. Even the Queen had to give up eventually.
She did indeed.
The late
She's still
Queen.
riding quite late.
Yeah,
but,
it's amazing. Well, that's a wrap for this video. We hope you enjoyed it. We have all the best moments from the show right here on the channel. And if you like this video, then we think you'll love this one. See you next time.